Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. It is Monday, the 13th of November. I hope you're doing well on this day. Brand new week. What are we up to? Hey Judith, welcome back. Hope you are well, my friend. And hey Mandy, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rosella is here, and I can see you've changed your profile picture. Who's that? Who's that in that picture? Hey Liz. Oh, hey Liz, great to have you here as well. Welcome. All the way on Facebook, as is Angela. Whereabouts are we all watching from? What's for like the city or state country? I'm always curious. Today is going to be episode 894, I think. Let's just confirm. Yes, 894. And how we can reframe, diminish, reduce, let go of anxiety as and when it happens. New Hampshire. That's pretty awesome. I'm in San Diego myself, California. Angela in my hometown, my birth town of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Is it getting cold, Angela? Because I'm going back to Cambridge. Just after Christmas for New Year. And last time I was there, it was the coldest, I think it's the coldest winter I've ever experienced in England. So let's change that this year. It was like -7. And I got really ill when I was there. From Indiana. Nice. I think Grim. I'm not sure you're here, Grim. You're from Indiana, right? That kind of way? Oh no. That is not cool at all. That actually happened to me once. And it was New Year's Eve in Cambridge. And I think I just took someone, I wasn't the target. But it was a weird experience. Because you know, like, the difference between drunk and out of it. Wasn't cool at all. So sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're getting safe. That's awesome. I've got little Sebastian and Mr. C. They definitely get treated like babies, but they're not babies anymore. Elderly gentlemen. I'm not sure. I didn't check this, so I've got to just see if he's in camera shot. No. Oh. I think I can adjust the rest of my software here. Oh, that's my drink almost. There we go. He's all covered up, cozy, little Sebastiano. He's gone for too long-ish, no, not too long-ish. He didn't want to go for a WA. What's WL? WA? Well, that's confusing me even more. LK. So there's my little Sebastian, and then got Cuddles just past him, looking outside, but the sun is going down already. But that's my little boy. I've got him till Wednesday. I've had him since Friday. I pet share with my ex. So, spending some cozy time. He's getting on in his old age. He'll suddenly become a puppy again, but sometimes he'll just nope when he goes outside, like, nah, I'm done. We went outside for a few minutes, I'm done. And I'm like, I'm ready to go for a wander. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been proven as well, right? Petting actually improves your happiness. Hey Michelle, great to have you here. Welcome back as always. Always tuning in. So if you're new here, I go live presently on Mondays and Fridays. I used to do Wednesdays, but I've switched it up to just upload at the same time a hypnosis session. Just because timing wise, is by just dropping one show, I've gained like 2 hours of my week back, so I can actually focus on my business, which fuels my efforts to help as many people. So I had to cut it back a little bit, but still upload. So at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, we've got a new session, and I'm excited for it because it's going to be a self-love hypnotic experience meditation. Oh, Mr. C is on the move. As you can see, Sebastian keeping a close eye on him. Literally an eye, because he's blind in one eye. So, got an eye on him. What was I saying? Yeah, so we've got this guided self-love meditation I'll be getting out for free. And then I'm going to put it into a sleep version, which you can get on the app at freehypnosis.app if you haven't got it. Oh, it was kind of cool today. You know, MZ, Nina, she's like, send me a message saying, sorry, I can't make it today. Which is kind of cool, right? That people letting me know they can't make it. So she can't make it this week, maybe Friday, she said. Got a best friend in town. But you can download the app at freehypnosis.app and you get all bonuses, sleep versions. I've got this Thursday, a real good 4-hour sleep session. A 4-hour sleep session. So not only are you going to get the guided the self-love one, but you've got this real super self-loving 4-hour hypnosis session as well. So I'm excited for that. That's all been created. I've still got to create the meditation one. I've got my plans in place for tomorrow. Hey, welcome back as well. Great to be here. And I'm pleased you can't wait for it. You'll be ready at Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, 10 p.m. United Kingdom. Well, hopefully we can deal with that today. So we'll see what we can do. There we go. Yes. Pets are awesome like that. So if my energy is a little bit low, as I'm a little bit tired today, I didn't get much sleep, as much as I'd like. And then I just went for a 3-mile run. So I'm just getting back into the swing of things. But like I said, if you're new here, go live Monday and Friday, and we get into the main content in between now and 5 or 6 minutes. Just give time to people to tune in. Mr. Cuddles. And here's Mr. C. There's my other baby boy. So we can, all three of us can be on camera. Look. There we go. Mr. C. And Sebastian. No general anesthetic? Wow, I'm so pleased it helped. There's on the app, I've misplaced my phone. I don't know where my phone is. But I'm sure you may have listened to it, but there is a post-surgery healing hypnosis, and just recently a 4-hour healing hypnosis for sleep. But so pleased you got help. Yeah, there, Mr. C, wandering around. This music is making me chill as well. Let's mix it up for a second. Get my energy up. Okay, that's better. What else have I got to report? I don't think I've got anything else to report. I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead. We've got a 4-hour sleep session. And the post-surgery healing, and that's in day and night form on the app. What did you get wrong? I don't know. I don't think you got anything wrong. What do you mean? You are all right in my mind. So, should we get going? Should we get going today? I think we're all mostly here. So let's do it. I want to experiment with just doing maybe shorter topics. I feel like in the past I've made it a necessity to go between 20 and 30 minutes episodes. But I want to maybe kind of make things more concise rather than me over talking. So we'll see what happens on this one. Sometimes I get carried away and I just keep on talking. But maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. And be sure to hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up on YouTube. So let's go for it. Since that music stopped just fine. Episode 894. You ready? Steady. Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 894. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about how to reduce and reframe anxiety as it's happening, which once you start to apply, will cause your brain to learn how to do it by itself. And that means you don't have to do it anymore. So that's the good news. But if you start to practice this, what I'm about to tell you today, your unconscious mind will assume that new strategy. So when in the past you may have been triggered, which created anxiety, this way your unconscious mind will be triggered to be calm and relaxed and reframe it effortlessly and easy. That is our plan, that is our outcome, and that is what we plan to do today. So first of all, let's just quickly talk about it, just the brief part of it. Anxiety is you thinking of all the things which could happen in a very overwhelming way, which makes you feel anxious, worried, and fearful, self-doubt, and all those things. And it has obviously a physical effect on your body. You may start to feel your heart racing, or you have that kind of dread on the inside, that panic. And that's not good for the body. So we want to be able to teach the body, and by the body, I mean the unconscious mind, because if you could let go of your anxiety, you'd just click your fingers and you'd stop. But if you cannot do it consciously, it must mean the unconscious, or some may say the subconscious, doesn't really matter to me, but that part of the brain is running the anxiety. And we can go into all the how it happened, why it happens in terms of your past history, in terms of traumas or significant emotional events that we've gone through, which makes us feel this feeling. But what I want to do is less worry about the why and worry about, well, how can I make this change? Like, what can I do? Some people, and it's not bad about these other therapies because they're designed that way, and it's all good for many people, talk and talk and talk. But sometimes just talking about it doesn't solve it because the unconscious mind hasn't got the necessary tools. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And if you're listening to this and you're experiencing anxiety, maybe you've done those things and maybe it just didn't work for you, and maybe this will. So we know what it is, anxiety. We know almost the how that the unconscious mind is trying to protect you in some way of all the worst case scenarios. It's almost as if like your unconscious mind is a superhero jumping to every anxious thought, thinking, how do I solve this? What if this happens? Like just at every leap and bound trying to protect you. So we can be at least thankful for the intention, right? So send a little signal to your unconscious mind. Go, look, even though I don't like it, I am thankful that my unconscious mind is trying to protect me. And I say try because try really comes from tried, and tried really means a failure or not doing so, or not fulfilling a certain objective. So let's be at peace that your unconscious mind's trying to protect you. So here's how we get into the how. Like, what are we actually going to be doing to be able to reduce, diminish, let go, reframe anxiety? Because very, very quickly, actually, anxiety is a generalization. It's a distortion. You are deleting aspects of your filtered reality. So you're distorting and generalizing and deleting aspects, which makes us feel worse. So number one thing, what I always tend to do is to empty out my anxiety. Now, what I mean by emptying out is to get clear on the worst case scenarios. And it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but the more you're able to empty out, and just even like if you think it or write it consciously, it means your unconscious mind doesn't have to think about it because you've emptied out all the potentialities. So that is one way, and you could call it being very stoic, being at peace, but yeah, all of these things could happen. But when you get to that emptying out, all these things could happen, it kind of gets your brain into, well, the chances are it's not going to happen. Like, I've recognized all the things which could happen, because you haven't just let it kind of store and get kind of like store in your unconscious and just run wild, you've let it out, you've emptied it, and then your brain kind of goes into a reset and goes, what's real here? Like, what is the likelihood of all these things happening, or even sometimes one thing happening? So that is one aspect that you can reframe anxiety, by literally going into what could happen, and then your unconscious mind begins to decipher that actually the chances are nothing's going to happen. Like, the worst case is really, really, rarely ever going to happen to you. But if it's stored at an unconscious mind, you have that dread that something could happen. So it's almost like you're becoming at peace with the potential negatives, that it doesn't actually bother you. And then what I do is I add on to this, so it's not necessarily a part of this topic, but once I've come up with all the potentialities and just got them out my head, emptied my cup, see it for what it is, I then just ask, how would I like it to have happened? How would I like my day or that situation to happen? Because usually we tend to go into a state of all the whys are going to happen, which gives you reasons to be anxious. But if you change your wording, like, how am I going to be, or how would I like to be, you're now creating images in your mind in the best possible positive viewpoint. You're going, well, let's just say, for example, you had anxiety about approaching someone who you think, yeah, they're a real nice person, I'd like to ask them out on a date. Usually you go, what if they reject me? What if this happens? But if you go, well, how can I walk up confidently? Your brain is designed to seek out that strategy. But if you go, like, say, same thing for promotions or job interviews. If you go, why am I like this? Why do I feel anxiety? It will look for all the evidence in your past. But if you go, well, how would I like this meeting to go? You are creating a positive visualization, which causes your unconscious mind to have to go there, which sneakily pre-teaches the unconscious mind to go, this is a possibility. So change the whys to the how. How can I go into this situation confidently? How would I like to? And your brain will go there. There's so many studies on that. Like, we've talked about that plenty of times. The studies of going there in your mind, your body goes there too, and it pre-teaches the unconscious mind. But the main first thing was emptying out until it becomes ridiculous, that your unconscious mind resets and becomes more at peace with the situation. Let's go ahead into the real aspect of the reframing, which is going to be two aspects. And the two aspects are broken into two sections as well. So number one, anxiety is that you're so kind of in the feeling of that moment of thinking what could happen in the very near future. It doesn't make you feel good. So what I tend to do is switch things up. I consider the timeline of life. Like, if I think about going way back, maybe a year or two back, thinking, well, what does this anxiety mean to me when I was looking through the eyes of me 2 years ago? Then I can do the same thing in the future. If I think about what's going to happen in 2 years, does this thing really matter? Like, in 2 years' time, will that me really be bothered about it? And you might go, well, yes, a little bit, but there may be a diminishing. So what you're doing is you're changing the timeline of your experience. You go out into the future or you go out into the past. They're the two sections in this case, the future and the past, that it starts to diminish that energy. And you'll notice the further you go, the smaller the anxiety is, because it becomes more meaningless. And what I mean by that, let's just imagine if you zoomed out further. Let's go way back first. Let's go down that scenario. If you go all the way back to you're a baby, does it really matter? Probably not. If you go way back, even before your time. So imagine going 100, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. It doesn't really, if you look back from that perspective, this thing doesn't really matter as much. And if we go off into the future, End of our life. Does it really matter? Probably not. We're probably thinking about all the things we've did or the things we want to do, that this one part of anxiety is just meaningless. But as I said, if you go further, what's this anxiety thought going to really matter once we've passed? Like hundreds of years into the future. I know it's a bit weird thinking that way, but if you do really go far enough into the past or the future, the anxiety just seems to start to diminish. And like I said, if you do this as and when it happens, it reframes the anxiety to meaningless, and therefore your brain will start to do this automatically by itself. But I also said there's another option. So if you think about the past and the future, well, how else can we start to do this in a more curious way, a creative way? Well, we have the micro and the macro. So for example, let's just say the first ones were like very past and present. Well, now let's go into the present, and now just imagine zooming out maybe to the point of the earth. So you're just looking back at the earth, that beautiful blue marble. We've zoomed out so far. How does your anxiety to compare zooming out from that level? Not just like above your city or your state or your country or your continent. You go so far out, looking back at you down there, which you can't even see that you. On that grand scheme, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't have as much energy. Now, we can go into the micro. So if we begin to zoom all the way down to the size of a bug, a size of smaller than that, into atoms, the issue also doesn't tend to stick as much. Like it at the real quantum level, if you go down the real extreme, when you go into the pure vibration of energy, or if you look through the eyes of maybe that insect, they're probably thinking, well, this issue is not that bad considering this viewpoint. And of course, we can go back to the macro, the bigger. So we said about looking at that beautiful blue marble of our Earth, Gaia, and then just imagine going further back. Imagine if you go from the viewpoint of the solar system. So we got all the planets in the solar system. You cannot put your attention and energy on that issue that you're experiencing with anxiety because you're that zoomed out. Like it can't hold its ground. But let's go even beyond our universe, like the Milky Way and beyond. Think about it. If you ever see those pictures from space, or from the, when they bring back the pictures of like the origin of the universe and like the creation of planets. Like if you were to figure out where we are somewhere in terms of the grandest, biggest thing that we ever know, how does the anxiety hold up? Now, for some people go, oh, that's a bit anxious because I'm thinking about the whole universe. But in the context of the anxiety that you're triggered in, it diminishes. So ultimately, if you start to go into the future, the further you go, or into the past, the further you go back, the meaningless or the anxiety becomes more meaningless based on time. I mean, they say like time's a healer, right? So different context, but it still means the same thing. That the more you go beyond that present moment of the anxiety, it ceases to really live anymore. And the more you do that, it will interrupt the pattern. Same thing with the micro and the macro. Zooming all the way down or all the way out. I like the all the way out one because when you kind of just consider everything, it's like this, I don't need this anymore. And of course, the first thing I said, which was just emptying out. Just empty out, become conscious of all the worst case scenarios, and after a while you become, in a good way, exhausted. The brain goes, reset, let's think of another approach, and then you can go into, well, how would I like to be? So if you start to apply any one of those strategies, I know if you do it with time, like it takes a number of times to do this, But if you start to do it consistently, you're almost handing it off to your unconscious mind that this is the new strategy, that this is how I'm going to operate. And then your unconscious mind goes, this is different from the old strategy of anxiety, which didn't make me feel good. This new way is more stoic in nature, more peaceful, more considering of perspective. And that's what it really is changing our frame of reference, our perception, which then changes our projection of how we operate into the world. So your unconscious mind, which runs the issue, will start to take it on. So that means that when it happens in the future, that old trigger, your unconscious mind will, quick like lightning, go zoom all the way out, all the way in, all the way out to the future, all the way out to the past, and empty out quicker than you could ever imagine, come up with the how would I like to be. Your unconscious mind will just assume it. Why? Because your unconscious mind is here to protect you, right? We said right at the beginning, have a little thanks to your unconscious mind because it's trying to protect you. So if we offer this new strategy of reframing anxiety in a certain way, it will allow you to be safer. And therefore, your unconscious mind will upgrade from the present anxiety process to this new one, because it is here to protect us in every single way. So I hope you enjoyed this shorter episode, mixing up a little bit today. But I thought we could just kind of do it real quick and simple. Now, of course, you got to assume responsibility, take action on your desires, all the usual things I say. But I just wanted to give you ultimately 3 ways of emptying out, going through the future and the past, to the micro to the macro, of the massive to the small, all of those things. It will start to interrupt the pattern of anxiety. And once you do that, it's like a CD. That if you remember the CDs or records and all those things, it's been playing this anxiety strategy, this song, this album consistently. Now we're interrupting it. We're kind of scratching it a little bit. So therefore it can never be played again in the same way. And it'll start to begin to sing from this new tune of reflection, reframing, and really reclaiming the power over your mind and be free of anxiety. And of course, listen to the hypnosis. We've got sleep sessions, we've got day sessions, morning meditations, all on the app. You can go ahead and just get it at freehypnosis.app. If you go into the free section or the hypnosis section, you can just type in, say, anxiety, and it's going to come up with some tracks or topics which are going to support you through this. My whole work is honestly trying to help as many people as possible. That is what I'm trying to do. I know what it feels like to be there. I know what it's like to be out of it and have my life pretty much how I'd like. I mean, I always want to improve. I've got to improve with a higher standard sometimes of how I want to be. But my goal and outcome is to be able to help as many people as possible. And if you want to help me with that, you can become a subscriber. It just means I keep on evolving the app. And also on top of that, leave a review, because your words count. You never know that your words could inspire someone to make the change, which creates the ripple throughout their family, their future, healing their past, to be able to live a life that we all kind of like living in the world that we'd all like to be a part of. Wouldn't that be nice? But we just live in a world we all want to be a part of. A team, a family. And we need that more than ever. So I appreciate if you ever get the time to leave a review. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on the next episode, which is going to be a meditation on self-love. And those who are subscribers and supporting me in the app, you're going to get a sleep version of that as well. And yeah, let's have some fun. Let's do what has to be done. And I'll speak to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye. And there we go. It was a little bit. Was it shorter? Did we do it shorter this time? I think so. I wanted to do it a little bit concise today. The 3 processes. The emptying out, the subsection, or the little bit of the how, but then the subsection of the past and the present, sorry, the past and the future, and then the zoom. I like the zooming out one, because even if it's of Earth, like looking in the grand scheme of things, and do you know what, that's actually a true effect. So many people go to like the space station, they look back and they have this, what's it, the technical term? Oh my goodness, I cannot, it'll come back to me. I always say that, it will come back to me. I got the word experience at the end of it. But what it, as my unconscious mind helps me find that information, the transpersonal experience. I told you, if you ask the right questions, not why did I forget, a transpersonal experience was like something beyond yourself. So when you look back at the Earth, they go into, wow, this is like, my issues mean nothing, or you don't see borders when you look at the globe. We see it on the map all the time, but looking from there, you just see this blue planet, and that changes your frame and your connection with the world, but also yourself. And if you start to apply that into your life, I think the anxiety just disappears. Anyway, I should have said that on the past podcast even. Hey Cheryl, great to have you here. Welcome. Oh, there we go. Selena says, there's been given me something to think about for my interview on Wednesday. Thank you. Well, thank you, Selena. So Selena, as on the app, I'd bring up my phone if I had it. I can't find it right now. But go into the main hypnosis section, type in interview, and there's an interview nerves day and night session. So listen to that. It's on Wednesday. That means it gives you great opportunity, if you haven't already, to listen to it tonight. Maybe do a quick day version, but at least listen to it tonight and tomorrow night, and I think you'll find you'll have an amazing interview. But good luck either way. You've got this. And this is why, when did I move that way? I'm going to celebrate in your future right now. So congratulations on that perfect interview. In your mind, you can see the successful completion, and it just makes you feel good, and your unconscious mind can act and react that way. You've got this. We're all rooting for you. Hey, you superstar. Saying, well, Joseph, this is such a clear, direct way to deal with anxiety, which I have so regularly. You're a smart, intuitive, amazing teacher and healer. I appreciate you so very much. Oh, thank you, Lois. Very, very kind of you. I always appreciate you, as always. I'm pleased it helped. Just reframes things. And that's why I put it in the title, reframe, because you're changing the frame of reference. There's my present one. This is my next one. There's my next one. There's my next one. And this is my next one. And thank you ever so much, Michelle. Great to have you here, as always, like I said earlier too. And thank you, Judith. Yeah, I think it's going to really be something to apply. Listen to the other stuff, the anxiety hypnosis sessions or panic attack ones. But it's something that, it's important, by the way, before we finish off the stream. I feel like we've zoomed by, and I've finished everything really, really quickly. Only like 39 minutes into the call. We usually like here for an hour. But, so feel free to ask questions if you wish, to keep me going. But, as I was saying, yes, I got my hypnosis sessions, but it's really important, I believe, to have the conscious upgrade. That means we haven't even changed the music. Here we go. Well, let's get back to the chill. No, I want this one. I want this one. No, that one. This one. There we go. So it's important to, yes, use the hypnosis, but if you can start to do these conscious principles, it quickens the process. It pre-teaches. And it ultimately means that you are in control of your mind, right? You are in control and making a real powerful change with your own unconscious mind. So try to embrace doing the conscious work, because it will really double the transformation. And also you become more of an expert as well. Like hypnosis can be like, oh, I woke up and I'm different now, which is fine. But what I learned from, and here's what I learned from teaching, by the way. So we'll go on for a little bit longer. I'm thinking of things to say now. When I was just a practitioner, I would go into the technique. Like, this is the process to let go of this. But when I became a teacher of, in other words, teaching people to become practitioners, it made me take like a deep dive as to what's really happening. And that means I wasn't just getting unconscious results. I was actually becoming consciously aware of what was working and not working, which means I can refine and get better. So do the conscious work, and it just kind of increases your repertoire of how the mind works. And we should know how this thing works, right? You are most welcome. Yeah, bring it back to the basic. I'm very grateful for you, my friend. So I'll maybe mix up, do some simplistic things. Don't want to get too technical. 2 years ago, oh yeah, I think I vaguely remember that one. They're all cozy right now. I got this one that you can see. He's definitely cozy. And namaste to you, my friend. Yeah. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And you will be back in control. So there we go, we did it. We did episode 894. And we're gonna probably... Is that right? Did I say that right? Episode 894? Am I right with that? 894, that means we're gonna hit 900 episodes before the end of the year. Even Sebastian's like, what? What are you on about? See, I'm looking here, down here, that looks fine one from that view. You have a good one, my friend. And remember, on Wednesday, there will be a self-love guided meditation on Wednesday. Blocked out my day for tomorrow to record it, edit it, and upload it, and we'll go from there. Look at the boy. Yeah, we'll still be doing the Wednesday hypnosis. It's just not live, so it'll be there on YouTube though, because you know what Facebook was like. They'll mute me for no reason, no good reason anyway. Thank you so much. You have a lovely rest of your day. It's getting dark already. I feel like it should be like 6 p.m. Yeah, so I'll be back on Friday, and on Friday we are talking... What are we talking about? I'm excited for it anyway. Oh, weirdly enough, I didn't even think about it till right now. It's called A Letter from My Future Me. So that'll be interesting as we considered the future in this episode. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that already. So thank you everyone for hitting the thumbs up if you have. Oh no. I would say it is 60% light. The hummingbirds are still out. I just refilled their container thing, hummingbird feeder. So they're still out. When they go, I know when it's time to go to bed for them. But yeah, I will look forward to speaking to you all on Friday. So many thanks and good. Oh, wrong button. I need to edit this last one, but it'll do for now. Many thanks and goodbye.